Hi there, welcome back to the History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to get into the last part of my volume 4 of my Tusk scrapbook, and this would be episode 9. And we're definitely ending in the 80s. There's still some 79 in there. What are you going to do? But we're going to jump right into what I definitely know is 1980. What day was it? July 31st, 1980. And this is Stevie's participation in the No Nukes benefit show. And pictured here with Bonnie Raitt. Some really great classic shots. What was really cool about these two shots and another one I'm going to show you on the next page is that they came with these little certificate of authenticity. These photos are taken by Peter C. Borsari, as you can see right here. And I just thought it was kind of cool that these came with the photo, and it would be kind of neat if more came with photos that I have. I talk so much about having originals and authentic pictures. It would just be kind of neat. A lot of the pictures that I have stuff on the back and the artist's name and stuff, but this is just kind of nice. And I'm guessing I bought this directly from Peter, as these were sent. That these are certified by that person, taken by that person, signed by that person. So I'm going to imagine that that's the case. So there were 3 of these. One came with each photo. I have them in between the pages, so I'm not going to pull them all out, but this one was accessible, so I got that one out. So there were these 2 pictures by Peter, and then this 3rd picture here. I forget the name of this young lady here. She was an actress, and I can't remember what sitcom or something she was from, but I read up on her at some point, and I just remember it's kind of a sad life she had thereafter. These photos I've had for some time. These are kind of older photos, and this one as well is an 8x10. But I have no idea who the photographers are on these ones. They could well be by the same, but there's nothing on them that certifies or tells you that that's the case. So those were kind of neat. Next up, we have some live shots. Oh no, I'm sorry. We have some more from that day. My apologies. This one I really like, her smile on this one. Again, there's no, I don't know who took these. Again, could be the same, but these were not purchased by that or with any authenticated stuff. This one is just an old standard, one you'd get in the 80s or 90s off eBay probably. This one's really sweet, the smile. Then we go on to this really cool one. These are some great live shots from 1980. I really like this one. This one is somewhat recent, like in the last year or so. And I really like my fancy little part here. I might have shown this one in one of my little pop-up videos because I had made this page not too long ago. I was really happy with how it turned out. Then keeping up with this theme here and another current page was this one. Yet another review on Tusk. Then this one up here was just a cute little funny thing happened on the way to the forum, just talking about bands like Peter Frampton and Fleetwood Mac, who were just really big acts at the time, and where they were going to keep heading. Both Peter Frampton and Fleetwood Mac both kind of had undesirable follow-ups, considering what is it, Frampton Comes Alive and Rumors were. The follow-ups to each one of those artists' records just weren't what the public and everybody else had wanted. And I find it kind of interesting in the reviews and such like that they just kind of came down on the acts like that. They just weren't as favorable as they were Rumors. And yeah, I just remember buying them and thinking, they're great stuff. It's it's fine, but anyway. That one I said I got somewhat recently. I got this about the same time. Actually, I got this with that one. And I really like Chris here on that one. And I thought this was really cute. I'm not even sure where this came from, but this is really cute. It's Talking with Fleetwood Mac by Barry Waldman, Kids Day staff reporter. age 13. And it says Roslyn. So I'm not sure if it's Barry or Roslyn who spoke with the band, but some of the things that were put in here was Tusk is a double album and carries a list price of $15.50. When Fleetwood Mac was asked if he felt that playing the entire album on the radio would hurt the sales, he said, at least that way they can listen to a cassette, and if they like it, they can get the album when they have the money. Kids Day asked them why Tusk took 3 years to release. Fleetwood said that the album really only took 8 months to record. A lot of the delays that affected the record were in other people's minds. Remember, Rumors, a single album, took a year, and Tusk, a double, took 8 months to record. I don't know why you'd bring up that fact. That sounds kind of backwards, but that's just me. Stevie Nicks, the group's lead vocalist, was asked about her fascination with the occult. She replied, "I've never been into the occult. I just like to wear black. It's very elegant. The witch stuff is in everyone else's interpretation." Tusk is definitely a strange name for an album, Fleetwood said. We didn't know what to call the album until we saw the finished cover. It had a lot of pictures of animals, people's feet, and elephants. We sort of liked the word Tusk, and it sounded good. Of course, we all know there's all sorts of different stories to why the album was named Tusk. But we'll just let it go with this one. This is, after all, a children's child interviewing the artist, so they probably didn't want to go into the other possibilities of where that name came from. Then here, I think all these go together. I definitely believe that these do, but this one, it's kind of hard to say, but they all fit. A lot of these pictures, again, kind of older ones that I've had were, those ones from back in the day where you'd, send a self-addressed stamped envelope, or I think I brought up Nancy Barr, I think was her name, Brandon Barr, something like that. And she was a photographer who had a lot of her stuff in the back of magazines, and you can send in $1 and get a sample or get a whole catalog of more stuff to order. And I know that a lot of this stuff were pieces like that I acquired over the years. Some nice photos of Lindsay. This one in particular I'm pretty fond of. This one I think I had, that one was taken by Lynn McAfee. Can't be sure about this one though, but this one was Lynn McAfee. So funny story on this one. This one is taken by Abel Armas, and I brought up Richard Armas several times as being a very favorite, if not my favorite, photographer of Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks. And when I began talking with his brother Abel, I just met the person, talking to him online, and then started talking to him on the phone and mentioning what a big fan I was and what I had and stuff like that. And I don't even know if we were talking on the phone, but it doesn't matter. But I remember the person saying that, Abel saying, that he had some photographs, and, I've probably never seen these, and, these might be really unique. And he mentioned some photographs, and I believe this one is the one of them. And I just went right to my book and got it. And and I just remember saying to him, like, dude, you don't understand, like, I am a fan, like, I'm a picture monger, and, have sought photos. And he just thought it was kind of funny that I had something that he's like, no, nobody's ever seen this. This is from my personal portfolio. And I got this ages ago at in Hollywood. I'd mentioned my friend's, when he's not my friend, but he's a friend of my friend, and a person we used to frequently purchase from in Hollywood a long time ago. And I'm sure that's pretty sure where I got this one. But it's just so funny when he mentioned it, or he showed it to me, and I'm like, hold on a second, let me go get that out of my, I think actually maybe it wasn't this one. Maybe it was one from Mirage. But it's still a funny story. Oh, you think I don't have something? And of course, there's several photos out there that I don't have, but it's just kind of funny. So that's one of my favorites. This one also went when I showed you all my nice, all those nice pictures from the Tusk, making the Tusk video, and those negatives that I had. This is an original. This is a weird situation here. This is an original Polaroid. And I've had this for ages. I've had this for quite some time. But I see it consistently sold on eBay as an original Polaroid. And it's kind of hard to tell, and I'm not going to pull it out. I guess I could, but it's very yellowed. And I purchased this probably in 2000, 2001, maybe. But I see a lot come around all the time in the same size, being an original Polaroid, and I mean, I don't know. I guess there could be others, but it's always the exact same pose, it's the exact same coloring on it, and I paid good money for this. And the one that keeps surfacing or comes around often is a lot less, which would indicate not being a real Polaroid. But I just always kind of found this funny, and I wanted this to go closer to those other photos. But up until those ones I got, those negatives I showed you, this was the only one I had of Stevie in that outfit. I think there's not anything on the back. Let's take it out and see. Oh, kind of came out on its own. Yeah, it has all the markings. It's kind of hard to tell, but I can't see it. But I know how old I am, and I'm going to say this is as old as I am, damn near. It's kind of got the outline, like the frame border that would be, if you see any kind of discoloration, it's kind of yellow in there. And it's got the little ridges and stuff that would be on the old Polaroids from that day. Again, I don't know if you can see in the light. But that can be recreated. You can't really see it, but yeah, this is where you pulled it out. I just think it's odd. I think it's really... Now, Polaroids, again, if you know, you're so used to seeing that white strip. And there was instant cameras and Polaroids and stuff like that, but these were later Polaroids. And I know there's a different name, and I shouldn't keep calling it Polaroid. I mean, I'm pretty sure it is. I think it is made by the company Polaroid, but, you know, these were different instant pictures, but not technically called Polaroid because they didn't have that little thing in the bottom is kind of the mixing formation that kind of goes up in the picture and helps it develop, which is also why you never want to cut it or damage it there. So yeah, this is just a really old, and it's like 3x5, if that. And like I said, the coloring, it's discolored, it's very dated, it's very, you know, you can just tell the age and the feel of it. And again, I just don't know if you can, I don't know. But those little ridges on the top were just, like I said, you would get those on the original photos back then. So anyway, I was really stoked to have it, but it's so funny because years later I saw it, you know, on eBay, and I thought, wait a minute, you know, because you can certainly make copies of Polaroids, but you can't have another Polaroid because that's why they're Polaroids. There's just one of them. And I don't know why this came undone. Oh, there it is. Anyway, that goes with this page here. This is a really cool little, I love these kind of old magazines, these little free magazines that came out in whatever state, city or state that you live in. So hard to find. Of course, when you got them, like I'm from the Bay Area, so we had BAM, which is Bay Area Music. I think that's what it stood for. And, you know, anytime, well, when I could, anytime Fleetwood Mac or Stevie were on the cover inside, I grabbed 10,000 issues. You know, I think I mentioned in another video that I'm down. There's BAM from 1997, and I've had 10,000 issues over the years of my life since 97. I cannot find a damn one of them right now. I cannot find one. I'm going to probably end up having to buy another one to complete my BAM Fleetwood Mac collection, which is funny. But anyway, I love these kind of ones because, you know, they certainly don't last. There's magazines that last, but then these little free ones that used to come out usually just did not last. So finding things like this was really a treat. And I believe this is a little article from inside, which I probably had to Xerox because it was probably right on the back of this. Drives me nuts. But a really kind of a cool inside photo. And that was from, I don't know what city though. And then the Tusk review from Rolling Stone. This page I've had made for years. I can tell by this wonky paper in the background. And this was another article. I think, again, I've shown the cover somewhere. But I think, yeah, this was a really neat picture of Stevie. This one has some damage I've noticed here, which really bums me out. Some tape and stuff. This one was from, again, I'm not too sure, but it was a live review, and I think came out of a free paper as well. Not this magazine, because that's the size of the magazine right there. But yeah, this was one of those ones that came out of a freebie magazine. This was a really neat, some really, I think there's more to this, but this is just one set that I have from 1980. This is like a press release from Warner Brothers. This might have been from Gabrielle's paperwork. I'm not too sure. It was just a little 2-record set of Fleetwood Mac Live is set for release December 3rd by Warner Brother Records. The album, produced by Richard Doshett and Ken Callier and Fleetwood Mac, is a collection of 17 songs recorded during the course of Fleetwood Mac's 2 most recent worldwide tours, the second one having ended this past September 1st. Cuts featured on the album were recorded in 8 American cities, plus London, Paris, and Tokyo. The album also includes 3 new tunes never before released by Fleetwood Mac: Fireflies, written by Stevie Nicks; One More Night, written by Christine McVie; and The Beach Boys' The Farmer's Daughter, all recorded live at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium for an audience of crew and friends. The double album cover is designed by Larry Vigone, who worked on the design of the current Tusk album, with cover photography by Chris Callis. Mixing was completed at George Massenburg Studios in Los Angeles, with the digital mix and mastering at Soundstream Incorporated in Salt Lake City. The Fleetwood Mac Tusk World Tour spanned 11 months, nearly a dozen countries, and some 115 concerts between October 1979 and September 1980. Crazy. And yeah, this came out Halloween, actually, October 31st, 1980. It's just a really cool little press release. I love getting stuff like this. And then I think, yeah, no, this is just another photo. I thought this was from the same person with all the stuff. I had their stamp on it, but it's not the same. So I'm not sure who took this photograph. Then, yeah, this looks, oh, wait, this is maybe, no, this is another article from June 4th, 1980. This is out of Scene magazine, which I think is Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken. Another shot similar to those ones I'd shown before that I'm pretty sure. I think this goes with, yeah, this kind of looks like these, doesn't it? Kind of looks like this one right here. So yeah. Then yeah, this is the whole article here, which is nice, which is rare. I don't always have the whole article. Did I just lose my place here? No, there we go. Scrambling everything up. This is a really cool, again, another hard thing to find is the little magazine inserts that come with newspapers. And this was Express News, Family Week, March 16th, 1980. Them on the cover. And then this cool little article on the inside. Well, one of those things that you just doesn't, you don't expect to stick around, and, hard to come by for sure. This was I think they redid this recently. When the live album came out, they had one of the reissues had like a little mini poster of this and like a pass and some other stuff, replicas of some of the original stuff. But this is an original ad that came in, probably Billboard, maybe, or Rolling Stone. It's hard to say. This came out December 13th, 1980. By the size of it, I'm going to guess maybe Rolling Stone, possibly. And then this, again, another free magazine. And this seems to be a magazine that had quite a few covers with Fleetwood Mac. This is, I think, possibly the only one I have. There might be another one I have. But I know that there was Jam, and then there was Ram, which is out of Australia. Those are really hard to come by, and they're very expensive. Mostly, well, with shipping, tax, and everything like that now. But this one is just great for the cover alone. Article's bonus, but for the cover, and put that all rhinestoney. fancy around the edges. I think that's what's making it so thick. I don't think there's anything. Oh, there's this. Okay. I always have to double check myself. This is kind of cool. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? This is somebody's artwork. So that was really nice. Oh, I covered it up with that other one. It felt thick. I'm like, it seems like something else should be here, but this is a really nice original print. It just says SF in the corner, but kind of old. Not really sure where I got it. Really nice, nicely done though. You've seen some of the other pictures I've shown from this concert, so I should pull those out another time and compare it. There's another video I want to do is not just Stevie Nicks' art, but like fan art, because I have a lot of pieces like that. And especially when I can pull the original photo and compare it to this one, would be a one to nicely compare. This is really nice. This is a really nice piece. Forgot all about that. Yeah, this had like several layers in it. But this was from, let's see if I can read the back here. Nope. Just another ad on the back, so it wouldn't tell me where it's from, but I think maybe it was a space saver to put in there for another page on 1980, because again, we know Anita's completely not prepared and not finished by any means. And this was the article that was in that scene of that Jam magazine here. Then these great 3 photos on the back. I think it was folded like that. I don't think that's my... Nope, that is my... it's hard to tell. It does look kind of folded. Yeah. Thought maybe that was just the plastic over it, but no. That's unfortunate. I don't know if they shipped it to... it might be one of those ones that's a folded type of magazine that came out. But again, still super grateful to have, because again, these things just don't last usually. So there you have it. So that is the end of the Tusk stuff that I have that's put together, not to mention this whole box that you never see that I keep out of view because it's embarrassing and it's never ending. I've shown you the file on the rumor stuff. You don't even know what the file is on the Tusk. Maybe not so bad as the rumors and early Fleetwood Mac, but there's more. This will never be done. But the good news is that next up we'll be starting with Belladonna, which I love. There's so many great photos in there, so I really can't wait to share those with you. And I hope you enjoyed all 9 episodes of the Tusk. Again, I just didn't mean... I think when I put these all back in the album, because I take the album part to try and show you better, because it's holding them is just like holding a brick. It's impossible. And I don't want the glare from the plastic. But I think that not all these pages will fit into the album, and that these were probably some extra that I had that were done and I just put with it. It'll be interesting to see. Belladonna book is put together right now, so I pretty much have everything that I've done. But I bet you if I just go through this box right here out of view, it's a big box full of stuff, that there would probably be a ton more pages in there of Belladonna. But hopefully you're enjoying it, so it doesn't matter if there's 20 issues or 20 episodes, right? Issues, like you keep saying. But anyway, I'm quit rambling. Thank you so much for joining me. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you next time, starting with Belladonna. Bye.